My name's Chuck Diesel. I own the Stained Glass Studio. And what I'm doing right now is just cutting some pieces of glass to fit into a panel. That's going to be a little window for a transom. Just testing out the fit and working out the bugs if there are any in the panel, which there usually are. But that's what the joy of this thing is. It's all a big puzzle, is doing this. I wanted a bathroom window. So I came in here about, 9 years ago and looked around, saw some things I liked, but decided to take the class myself. So I learned from Yvonne Reed, who used to own the shop, and took the classes, and that was it. Then just fell in love with it and kept working on it, and never wanted to stop since then. Worked on it constantly for 9 years, bought the shop about 4 years ago from them, and haven't stopped since. Just love it. We're totally custom. So if somebody comes in, some people have an idea, some people don't. They will, if they have an idea to start with, we'll start working with them and, flesh it out. Some people come in with I want this. Some people come in, I have this idea and I want to add to it. Some people they're a blank slate. They have nothing. So we have loads of books to look through. You can take pieces of this design from this, put it in this with that design, come up with a cohesive design you like, and we hand draw here everything. So everything is drawn, just like these guys up here. These are windows that are getting ready. Somebody's coming in to check them today, make sure they like the design and go with them. Everything's hand drawn. She came in with an idea that she liked. She had to, take pictures of a window in South Carolina. She wanted them a little embellished. That's what we did. We added the fleur-de-lis because obviously right now fleur-de-lis are very popular. So we drew it out. She's coming in today to okay it. This one here, this is one where the guy came in and knew exactly what he wanted. He had gotten this online, but it needed to fit his opening, so we drew it to size, scaled it down a little bit, made the fleur-de-lis a little bit bigger, and that's what it ended up being. We have a portfolio where we take pictures of our work. You can look at that and say, well, I like that, and you'll get a copy of it, but you will never get that exact fleur-de-lis. It will be redrawn, which again, changes it somewhat. The computer's real popular right now, but to me, there's no life in a computer drawn or rendered piece of art. It's without the artist touching it, because even though this is drawn and there's little nuances to this that one side might be a little different than the other, a computer's perfect, and I hate the word perfect. The best method is to draw it by hand, because you can totally take anything they want, incorporate anything to it, add this from here, that from there, and come up with a drawing that usually 99% of the time they love. So it's the best way to do it. Custom designs get pitched when they're done. They are the customers. They paid for them, and I know when I'm buying a piece of art that's supposed to be custom, I wouldn't want to see it down the street either. So no, they get pitched. As far as from scratch, we did a 4x8, the size of this table. That was just, it was like a patchwork design, just all sorts of different colors in it. It was just pieces of glass, just like this, except it was squares, just different squares and rectangles. We started it, and we got carte blanche by the person who commissioned it, which is actually very scary, because when we started building it, we got a third done and said we have to call her in. We have to make sure, and when she walked in, she loved it. So we were able to just fly with the rest of it, get it together. Everybody's design is different, anything is possible. Anything you want to do can be done in glass. You got to have the imagination to run with. This is a brand new window. It's for new construction. It's going into a bathroom. It's a pretty big one. We just got it cemented, both sides. And what we have to do now is let the cement dry. We're gonna clean it, finish picking the cement out of it, patina it, and then what we gotta do with this big old thing is flip it, clean the other side, patina the other side, and we're gonna have to have rebar on this. Rebar is a flat strip of metal that helps to strengthen the panel. If we just put this up in the window like it is, it would eventually, over time, much faster than with the rebar, because all lead, all glass panels sag eventually. They're just too heavy. And that's why 100-year-old windows start to fall apart. It's heavy. But what we're going to do is add rebar, which is a thin strip of metal, like steel, that's going to go from the top to the bottom of this thing to keep it from cupping on itself. We treat this like furniture. This comes in just like furniture. You don't want guys walking around with paint sticks or opening up the doors with 2x4s in their hands, because you really don't want to repair this stuff. It's not fun and it's not easy. So we treat all these things just like furniture. It goes in right when the furniture's moving in. That way there's less chance of anything happening to it. And once they're in place, they're real secure. I mean, these things, these panels, even though they're made of glass, are very secure. They won't take a hit with a hammer, but they're very secure and they're going to live a long, long life. The glass is made in the USA. We use a bunch of different companies: Spectrum Glass, Uroboros, Kokomo, which are all domestically made. Just a piece of rough roll texture. There's also Starburst textures. This is our favorite in the shop. This is Uroboros. It's a multicolored granite texture. Right there. And here's a glue chip. Everybody has seen glue chip at some point in their life. That's a champagne glue chip. There's like 60 different textures of glass, and there's about, in this shop, there's about 480 different colors and clear textures. Oh, there's everything. There's everything. This is Kokomo Granite Cat's Paw. Kokomo 111 Granite Cat's Paw. And every time this sheet comes in, it's going to look different. Every time. There's no guaranteeing it's going to be the same, be the same mix of colors, but how it's together, nobody knows. It is totally different every time. Here's a Ripple Clear, iodized Ripple Clear. Water glass, iodized water glass. Clear GNA with the little striations in it. Just kind of looks like old mouth-blown glass, but it's machine done. These panels came in, they had a bunch of broken pieces in it. A lot of the lead was missing or cracked, or the solder joints will break sometimes. The cement, after the panels are old, the cement will actually break down and break out and start to come off the panel. So we had to fix any broken pieces, re-lead any of the lead that was missing, and repack cement both sides. So now they're good as new and sitting there waiting for them to come pick them up. This is the cartoon we're doing now. I'm going to get this done, probably start it this weekend and start rolling on it. This is a very modern design. We run from traditional to modern. Everything runs through here. But when she came in with a sandblasted design. But we said, well, we can't do that, but we can do it in glass and zinc. So we said, well, let's give us a couple days, let us work on it, and we did a mock-up of it to show what it looked like, and what we came up with is this. And she fell in love with it. This little guy was the start of this whole 2 long panels here. So this guy here was just to show her what it was going to look like, and then when she fell in love with it, we went ahead and drew the whole thing out. So it's going to be, these 2 long ones are going to end up looking like this. This is the finished product, the finished panel of a cartoon we'd seen before, the drawing we'd seen before. This is a pretty modern design. We get all kinds in here. This one is going to go into a very modern house, a lot of chrome, a lot of stainless, so she does not want it patinaed. So that means that basically what we have to do is take steel wool and just rub all the metal down to get it nice and shiny. This is one that we're working on. It's the sister of the door. They go together. They're slightly different, but the same theme. The clear pieces of glass here flow through each other, but the textured glass is kind of doing its own thing in each one. So this is one in progress. The glass is cut. I got a couple pieces of zinc at the top laid out, and this is the one completely finished. It's been cemented on both sides. Again, the cement, especially in a panel this long, the cement adds to the rigidity of the panel. Not so much caring about weatherproofing because it's an interior door, but this is it. This is her bedroom doors, and we're going to make them nice and shiny. Last time we were here, I was cutting out the glass for these transoms that I'm working on, and today I'm going to solder it, lead it and solder it, put it together, and complete one of them. Taking pieces of lead, and I got the cut glass, and I'm just putting them in place. Let me show you a little of that. Do some cutting. Double check some measurements. Pop it in. Make sure it looks like it fits, and it does. So I'm gonna run another piece all the way up. So yeah, you have to measure your angles. That's the toughest part about doing something in lead. You gotta cut this metal to fit the angle that it requires. So I just lay it on there, make the cuts in the lead, double check it, put it in there. It looks good to me. Use nails to hold it, temporarily. And that way you can move things around or take things out, or something breaks while you're working on it, it's easy to take it out and fix it. Other than that, you'd have to solder it, which is kind of dumb because you would have this project completed and then something happens to it. So nails are used to hold the lead in place till you're ready to solder. So what I'll do, we talked about a minute ago, put a couple nails to hold it. The toughest part about doing a leaded project is actually something that some people would think are simple, is something like this. These lines start to get out of whack, you'll see it immediately. Whereas in something like the one above your head, those crazy lines can go anywhere. You're never going to notice if they're off. Doing something in angles like this, you have to be very particular about it. I'm going to flux, which is what we use to clean the metal. Lay the solder down, put the tip on it, just lift it up. Put it down. Put it down. So after this is finished, when you have all this together, what we do is cement it, which is where we use it's like a linseed-based cement. It's a disgusting process that's filthy dirty. But what it does is you pack all the cement underneath all the cane, and what it does is when it hardens, it weatherproofs. And it also adds rigidity to the panel to make the panel a little stiffer. You'll see on some old panels, like old stained glass, you'll see like rebar on it. Very rarely do we need rebar on anything anymore. The lead's a lot stronger today. So, the cement does enough strengthening that you don't even need to worry about doing a rebar. The metal is patinaed. And what we do is we take like this, after we're done with cementing, if we polish this up, it would be silver, obviously. But to us, we like the patina. The patina darkens the metal and lets the glass jump out. Plus it makes, if you wanted this silver, you'd have to steel wool it for the rest of your life. If you want to do that, that's fine. We don't want to do that. So what we do is patina it. Put a patina on there, it instantly reacts with the metal, causing it to turn black. Put a coat of wax on it, and you'll never have to touch it again. It gets the metal to be nice and dark and lets the glass really jump out at you.